When a man loves a woman, when a man wants a woman, there is a feeling that everything will be accomplished through that. And sometimes in the beginning of the relationship, you feel you are like actually accomplishing it. This is the meaning of life, this is everything. You have the sky and the earth, you have art and poetry. It is something beyond, something completely beyond. And then, as if pouring water into your hand, the water leaks out and is gone. And okay, maybe it's not the one, and then again and again. And for most of men, it was like, yeah, maybe it wasn't true. And yet that intense longing to find something extraordinary in a relationship with a woman remains. And the solution is not at all by changing a partner. The solution that Tantra offers is by deepening the capacity to fuse. Deepening the capacity to fuse. Deepening the capacity to fuse in the heart is a very precise and very refined process, and it does happen in the beginning. I remember when I was a teenager and I was driving with my lover, and she was holding my hand as we were driving, and I felt, we were just in the beginning of the relationship, and I felt our hands fusing. You probably know the feeling when you feel like you don't know where your hand starts and the hand of your beloved or somebody you're holding hands with begins. And that particular fusion happens spontaneously in the beginning of the relationship, and then we gather a kind of crust. Slight, big resentment stories passed in front of each other, and our capacity to fuse is hindered. Passion will actually stay much longer than actual fusion. Friendship will last much, much longer than passion. But fusion is extremely delicate, and it requires all sorts of very delicate conditions, and fusion, dear men, is what you are searching for. It is very counterintuitive. When men come to study with us in this Amorous Erotic Continence, they want to know to be better lovers, to last longer, to be more virile, to be more strong, to fulfill more, all these things. Rarely they come and they ask, how can I fuse more? Because it's not very intuitive for men, it's very intuitive for many women. Women have a much better understanding of the connection between extreme fulfillment, fullness and completeness and the state of fusion. Men have a little bit of a blind spot about that importance. Being on the Tantric path for 25 years, the women in my life were trying again and again to teach me how to fuse. Sometimes it would be quite frustrating for them, sometimes quite frustrating for me as well. There was quite a lot of resistance on my side. I didn't understand why, and why is it important, and how. Then gradually, okay, I could understand more why, more how, and then we could come closer together. And then when fusion was about to hit, and we would really fuse in the heart, I would really need to pee. My bladder would just scream, and I would say, okay, one moment I go and pee and I come back. And when I would go and pee and come back, I would have my shell on and we would not fuse. And this happened a few times, and then I said, that's it. I don't care. I'm not going to let go of this opportunity. And then, I was already in my 30s. It was way more than 10 years on the Tantric path. And then when that fusion came, it was like something inside of my heart was crying, also of gratitude, also of amazement, also of regret. Because I was like, oh, this is what I've been searching for all my life. And so many women in my life insisted so many times that this is the most important thing, and I resisted it for more than a decade. And they was like, no, this is the actual fulfillment, this is the actual bliss and peace and feeling of completeness. And this is what makes the relationship complete. And women are very intuitively reaching out for that, and it's very frustrating for them that a man doesn't follow. They're not doing it for themselves, they're doing it for the relationship, because the relationship becomes complete and happy. And that's where it stands. This is the gift. And in this coming model of the Amorous Erotic Continence, in these 4 classes, this is what we learn to do. To fuse on the physical and on the energetic level, how to do that, foreplay, how to touch, how to all the things. And what does it do to the degrees of pleasure, to the control of the energy, to the continence, to all the things, to the emotional and so forth. So that's the energetic side. And then we will learn the emotional side, because if you have emotional resistance, you're stressed, one of the lovers is stressed, not working. You feel guilty, you feel angry, you feel resentment, you feel, I don't know what, distant, indifferent, numb, bored, lazy, not going to fuse. Not going to fuse. It's a very particular, a delicate balance of many, 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 many factors. And we will learn energetic factors, that will be one class, emotional factors, another class, and how to deal with emotions. We'll have a little bit of workshop exercises also to do that. And then finally, moving from physical, energetic, emotional, to the fusion, mystical fusion, and the heart. And in the soul, we'll do some methods for that. This is the next step. This is where the whole thing is going. This is how lovers' relationship become indeed spiritual. The healing that takes place when you fuse in the heart, and you will see, you gotta really sacrifice. You gotta really be courageous. You gotta really open up everything and just be naked and transparent as you are, both of you, both lovers. But if you can do that, it heals you like you can't imagine. I'm a psychologist, it's way beyond. Dozens of sessions of therapy can be in 1 hour, in 2 hours, even in 10 minutes of intense fusion of the heart. It pops you out of the limited individuality into a limitless unity of lovers. Is not just a metaphor. It's something that can be experienced concretely. It's amazing. It takes some courage. It takes a lot of skill. It's very doable. You've had spontaneous manifestations of it probably when you were deeply in love in the beginning of 1, 2, or 3, or 5 relationships in your life, or in some other exceptional moments. But the idea is, if you understand it, which is what we want to give through this course, if you understand it, it will become yours, like really yours, to take, to repeat and repeat and repeat. And this tremendous joy, the biggest relationship joy, biggest lovemaking joy you've ever felt, will just become the baseline of your day-to-day life. So it's a really worthy journey, and yeah, you're all welcome to come. If you can come live, very good. If not, you can watch the recording.